my dome. Concrete walls, yeah, it's my home. Stockpile stacked with rations tight. Prep for the dark, we'll light the fight. Forage the woods, take what I need. Off-grid living, no time for greed. Barter goods in the shadow shade. Tactical steps in plans I've laid. Back to the bunker where the truth won't bend. Water and food where the road might end. Bug out bags by the door, stand tall, prepared for the fall. Yeah, prepared for it all. Generators hum, a comforting sound. Blackout nights when chaos surrounds. Seeds in jars, yeah, we're growing life. Homesteading strong in a time of strife. No high-tech wires, no web to roam. Resilience beats the world unknown. Hands in the soil, hearts in the fight. Staying ready every day, every night. Back to the bunker where the truth won't bend. Water and food where the road might end. Bug out bags by the door, stand tall, prepare for the fall. Yeah, prepare for it all. Back through the bunker where the truth won't bend. Water and food where the road might end. Bug out bags by the door, stand tall, prepare for the fall. Yeah, prepare for it all. Prepare for it all. When central power rules the game, when thoughts controlled in freedom's name, when the governed lose to government might, tell me who's got the wrong kind of Reich? He builds his cars, he mines the stars. No gulags for critics, no bureaucratic charge, no youth brigades chanting his name. Yet somehow he's taking all the blame. 1933 Berlin, the Reichstag burned. Bring up race, grab control, lessons aren't learned. When thought gets silenced and merit gets banned, ain't it funny who's holding the matches in hand?
Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, you guys are having a great Friday. We're going to be this live stream may I'll let you guys know up front. This live stream may be cut drastically short, like within the next few minutes. I don't know. We've got a healthcare professional coming over here today to do an assessment on the girlfriend, and we were just informed that it may be 10 a.m. So we'll find out. But we're going to cruise along until that time comes. Obviously, let's see, we need to set our super chat goal at 1 hour. And you guys know what happens if that is met. And let's go ahead and get the poll question locked into place. Where's that poll question? There we go. Poll, there we are. There we go. Got the question right there. Hopefully you guys are having a great morning. Do me a favor, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. It will help to draw people in. It's free and it's good for me. And we will get started as soon as I get done clicking a few more things. And Oh. Also, I've been doing a little bit more of the political stuff on the Red, White, and Real channel, as well as, believe it or not, TikTok, because there's an emerging audience there for young politicals that need to hear the words of the people who know the world. It's just that easy. All right, so and to let's see. So I hate to say it, but it doesn't show it on the screen. But Rose was first, and we've got West Virginia Pappy number two. Alrighty, then you are no, actually, it was West Virginia. It was alrighty, then it was number two, and then West Virginia Pappy, you are the turn. We got Deanna, we got Bradley, we got Ian, we got Teresa, who I think I saw over on TikTok yesterday. We got Eon, Eon. I am tired, guys. Ian, and looks like Cuck V just showed up, watching from the People's Republic of Michigan. The coffee today comes from Wendy's because that's where I got my coffee. Got the burrito fixes. Found out that I can actually get four breakfasts for the girlfriend out of one breakfast burrito from Wendy's. Okay, guys. So getting into it as usual, you guys know I try to want to keep this as the positive preparedness channel. Um, prepping is it's a practical approach for emergencies. Now, ensuring individuals and families can handle crisis with confidence. You know, what we're going to talk about is we're going to explore some of the essentials of prepping, urban survival, and a little bit of wilderness survival and emergency preparedness. We're going to offer some practical advice, tools, and a little bit of training to rebuild or to build resilience. We're going to kind of dispel some misconceptions that preppers are irrational, and we're going to emphasize that prepping is about self-reliance in scenarios like natural disasters, power outages, or supply chain disruptions. Now, since no two people face identical circumstances, preparedness must be tailored, but a foundational framework can guide beginners and seasonal preppers the same. Now, with that said, looks like Ian has already got it started off there, guys. Do me a favor, make sure that you give Ian his thumbs up, dude. Looks like we're 1/5 away to breaking out the old. I don't even have it on the table. I'll have to get up to get it. So thank you, Ian. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Everybody give Ian that thumbs up. Don't be slackers. Don't be slacking on Thursday morning just because I sound a little tired, okay? All right. So some key steps to start prepping. A structured approach helps individuals build a solid foundation for preparedness. What we want to do is we want to avoid just going like turning into gear queers or buying $10,000 worth of freeze dried food, in 25 years it's thrown away, that kind of thing. We want to avoid those kind of things. So what we're doing is we're going to talk about 6 steps to begin prepping effectively, ensuring that the readiness is there for unexpected challenges. Now, with that said, the first one is prioritize personal health and stability. Yeah, you expected me to say go buy a pew pew or fill your water jugs up or whatever, but first priority should be to prioritize your personal health and stability. Now, prepping begins with ensuring one's physical, dental, mental, and financial health. Without these survival gear and plans, they lose their effectiveness. On the physical health side, a medical checkup is going to identify underlying conditions, and it ensures that you're fit for demanding situations. Regular exercise such as cardio or strength training is going to build stamina for carrying supplies or evacuating. An example of that could be basic fitness plan from a reputable source like the Mayo Clinic can prepare someone for physical adversity. It's really that easy. And then on the dental health side, everybody always beats me up about my teeth, but on the dental health side, dental issues like a toothache, it can be debilitating during a crisis. Regular dental visits prevent problems that could hinder tasks. Basic dental hygiene, such as brushing twice a day, you do what mom said, and flossing, maintains oral health when professional care is unavailable. And then there's the mental health. Mental resilience is critical for decision making under pressure. Practices like mindfulness or professional support can strengthen the will to persevere. Resources from institutions like Stanford provide strategies for building mental fortitude. You might want to look into that. I'm going to say that again. Resources from institutions like Stanford provide strategies for building mental fortitude. Another thing is financial health. You know, a stable financial foundation supports acquiring gear, maintaining an emergency fund, and securing insurance. Learning budgeting and debt management through financial education resources ensures flexibility during crisis. We're going to go to the poll here now, since we just finished the first section. And the poll question is, what's the first step in prepping? And 40% believe learn survival skills. 40% say prioritize personal health. 20% say stockpile long-term supplies. And 0% say build an emergency kit. That's right. I made it a little difficult. The questions are a little difficult today, guys. Let's see here. We got Teresa saying it's Friday. Got her party hats on. I thought it was Friday. Prepper Mindset First from West Virginia Packme. Gnostic, welcome to the channel. Yes, I know who you are. I'm just saying welcome. You can't use survival gear and prep if you did. Yeah, exactly. Hey everyone. Let's see here. The soaking in cup count. Just so. What are you talking about, West Virginia Pappy? You use your words. Has anybody ever noticed, like, when you're like sick or in mental fog, or if you're just like as you get older, you forget all the nouns? Like, use your words. All right, guys. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. We've gone through the chat. We've gone through the poll, and we're gonna move on. Teeth. Okay. Does soaking in your teeth count? I still don't know what you're asking me, but sure. Nope, no TikTok for me. Gotcha. Well, Laszlo, shut up. Good morning, my friend. Good morning. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to number 2, which is going to be assemble a basic emergency kit. Now, a basic emergency kit. Hopefully, you guys didn't hear that too well. I mean, my nose is kind of messed up right now. A basic emergency kit ensures self-sufficiency for at least 72 hours during disruptions like natural disasters or evacuations. Now, you guys know I love it. Water. For 1 gallon per person per day for 3 days, as hydration is critical. Portable water bottles or collapsible containers are ideal for mobility. Now, the next thing would be food. Non-perishable, easy to prepare meals like canned goods or energy bars. They're going to sustain your energy. And you also want to choose items with long shelf lives and minimal preparation needs because you don't want to have to update your kit every month. It's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. And Teresa is over here making breakfast. Love it. All right, another thing to have is a first aid kit. A kit with bandages, antiseptics, and medications addresses minor issues or medical needs. Include personal prescriptions and over-the-counter remedies. Also, believe it or not, light. Let there be light. A flashlight with extra batteries or solar power options ensure visibility in outages, and headlamps free up hands for tasks. Guys, if you haven't been to Walmart and don't have at least 3 of the Walmart $1.50 headlamps, you are making a mistake. You can put them anywhere you want, and they always work. All right, let's see. Tools. A multi-tool, duct tape, and a whistle provide versatility for repairs and signaling. These compact items are easy to carry as well. I don't think I'll ever. Well, I do actually carry a multi-tool in my EDC, but it's part of my knife, so I don't really think of it as a multi-tool per se. All right, and then obviously shelter. Now, emergency blankets or a lightweight tarp to offer protection from the elements. Mylar blankets are compact and effective, as well as they're going to keep you warm. They're going to keep you warm. And if you guys haven't seen those lightweight wool blankets out there now, they are freaking awesome. They're pretty awesome pieces of good. All right, let's see here. We're going to go back up to West Virginia. Outdoor solar lights can be bought in at night for indoor lighting. Yes, exactly, exactly. Oh, let's see. We've got on the we've only got 8 votes. Okay. Well, we like to wait until the end to vote anyway, but right now we've got the question is what's the first step in prepping? 50% say prioritize personal health, 25% say learn survival skills, and 12% say build an emergency kit, and 12% say stockpile long-term supplies. And we've already gone to the chat, so let's go ahead and move on to number 3. We are trucking along, guys. We are moving very, very fast right now because you're not putting anything in the chat. And that's exactly why. That's what speeds up these live streams is when you don't participate. And I understand people are listening, but just FYI, that's what's happening. We got 6 things to cover plus a couple of bonuses, and we are already on number 3, and we're 17 minutes into this. All right, number 3. Develop eggs, toast, and fried bologna. That doesn't sound bad. Develop an emergency plan. Most people don't listen to this, but here we go. An emergency plan reduces panic by outlining clear actions for a household during a crisis. Contact information would be part of that plan. Compile and share a list of emergency contacts. Oh, excuse me. That hasn't happened in a while. Including family and local authorities to ensure everyone knows whom to reach. Guys, we've talked about the emergency contact plan. Make it, check it, laminate it, buy the magnets from the $1.25 tree store, take it to your kid's house, stick it to their fridge, let them find it later. It's that easy. Stuff in the chat to derail the speed run. Exactly. I need speed bumps. I need speed bumps. All right. So we just talked about contact information. Now, um, the next thing is going to be evacuation routes. Identify primary and alternate routes from the home and community, accounting for potential road closures. Practice these routes regularly. And then you're going to need some meeting points. Designate 2 locations, one near the home and one further away for regrouping if separated. Choose recognizable landmarks, something everybody knows. And then communications. Use text messages or apps like Zillow for reliable communication during outages as phone lines may fail. Obviously, and remember this is just basic preparedness, guys. So they may or may not have a bell thing. They may or may not have a bell thing. Let's see here. Number 4, learn essential skills. Practical skills enable survival when resources are scarce, fostering self-reliance in emergencies, and fire starting, master using matches, lighters, and ferro rods to create warmth and cook food. Practice in various conditions to build confidence. And then obviously we need some water purification. Learn to use filters, boiling, or purification tablets to ensure safe drinking water. Boiling for at least a minute kills most pathogens. In the military, they always told you to bring the water to a boil and then boil it for 5 minutes. I think that's excessive, but it definitely works because you don't know how much no I've drank. All right, let's see here. First aid. Basic first aid and CPR training addresses injuries like cuts or fractures. Local courses or online tutorials provide accessible learning. I want to caveat on the first aid. There is so much training out there that's absolutely free, and there's so much training out there that will cost you a little bit of money, but will give you. I would classify it as one hell of a better way to get trained than watching YouTube videos. It's pretty insane. It's pretty insane. As you guys know, I did the refuge medical training. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff. And yes, we'll talk about them here in about 10 minutes. But right now, just think about the training, guys. And it's about setting. It's like, so how many people have actually said, do me a favor, I'm curious. I'm curious. Hey, Roll Try, I see, good to see you. I'm curious. If you have had, if you've actually said, you got your pad of paper out, you got your day planner, you got your cell phone, whatever you use to plan things. Have you actually said, I'm going to set aside 1 hour on this particular day to do some kind of medical training on YouTube, on Refuge, on whatever. Okay, have you actually done that? If you've done that in the last 6 months, put a one in the chat. If you have not, put a zero in the chat. Only real answers apply. I only want real answers. I don't want to hear your touchy feely stories. I want to hear if you've done it and if you have not done it, because I think you have to be honest, and then you have to be honest with yourself. Now, with that said, I'm going to take a sip of coffee, and we're going to talk about some other stuff here. Now, the next thing is navigation, understanding uh, compass and compass use, and map reading to navigate without the GPS, practice in familiar areas to build proficiency. Yay! Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm seeing a lot of zeros. I'm seeing a lot of zeros. One, two, three, four zeros and five zeros and two ones. All right. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I mean, if we six zeros, blood grosses me out. I'm going with seven zeros. Here's the thing, guys. It's such an easy skill to acquire and thoroughly understand, to transfer from knowledge to understanding in the medical field. Is so easy because we have bodies, we're human beings. And when somebody says this does this, and it causes that, and you're like, that makes sense because we're humans, right? Um, does watching the Refuge medical class count? Yeah, well, yes, it does. Hell yeah. If you watch the class that I gave you guys access to, don't tell them that. But if you watch that class that I had access to, yes, it does. Absolutely does. Okay. Because you have to admit it. And you got to admit, that was a kick ass class. You know what I'm saying? They taught a lot. There was a lot of is very personalized, and there was a lot of personalization that happened there. What's up, Pilgrim? Oops, showed up. Look, oops, I'm not in top chat. Oops, I'm not in top chat. You did not catch me being in top chat. Um, but yeah, they have awesome training. They have awesome training and well worth the money. Okay, so number five. Now that I've got everybody like thinking about medical training, which they should. Like I said, we talk smack all the time about skills, right? It's the easiest skill to acquire. Absolutely the easiest skill to acquire. And if you don't have it, and if you haven't done any kind of training, then shame on you because it's the easiest skill to acquire. Let's see here. It was good, but I've taken the Stop the Bleed cast. Awesome. Awesome. All right, number five, stockpile long-term supplies. This is something we should be doing. Long-term supplies ensure resilience during extended disruptions, reducing reliance on external aid. It's that easy. It's that easy. You can outlast other people that way, and that makes you not a drain on public services. Okay, it's that easy. Water, food security, right? And now you're not a drain on public services. So I guess the first thing under that category would be food storage. Now, obviously, freeze-dried foods, or MREs offer long shelf lives and nutritional value, but you also need to rotate stock to maintain your freshness. And then, obviously, water storage. Large containers or rainwater collection systems provide ample water, ensure proper sanitation to prevent contamination. And then, energy solutions, solar chargers, generators, or battery backups maintain power for devices for lighting. Portable solar panels are ideal for mobility. And it's not just mobility, it's maintaining power. Maintaining power. You could literally have panels set up, portable panels set up, and have multiple devices and using one device while you have one charging. I ideally like to have the idea of three devices because then you have one charging, you have one being used, and you have one in reserve. Basically the rule of threes. Okay. Um, and then obviously defense tools, self-defense training, and legally compliant tools. hint, hint, like pepper spray, enhanced security, or the Burner device, which I still owe you guys a video on. Um, let's see here. Where are we at here? Understand basically you need to make sure that you understand your local laws to so that you avoid legal issues because just like we talked last week about how we get from WROL to SHTF, it's very easy for us to come right back to under the rule of law. So we want to stay as compliant as possible. I'm gonna go to the chat here real quick here. We're on number 6 now, so we are trucking along, but I see you guys are participating. Let's see. I've taken EMT classes in the past. That's not. I love it, man. I love it. Support your local warlord. There you go. Everybody surround, fall in on me. West Virginia Pappy says, how about mobile Starlink? I love it. Guys, if you aren't paying attention to the progression of Starlink, you might want to watch a couple of YouTube videos because that stuff is getting to the point where they're designing like 3D carrying cases, battery packs for them. And it's just that because they've got them down to the size of a freaking, a suitcase, nuke. It's pretty crazy. It's little bitty thing that you do. It doesn't. You just like throw it out on the ground, and there you go. You're up. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Let's see here. So I guess the next thing, you know what? I'm going to check. Let's check the poll real quick here. We've got 12 votes. We have 20 people in here. I'm not saying vote now. I'm just telling you the stats. And it's what is the question is, what's the first step in prepping? And right, currently we're still at 42% prioritize personal health, 33% say build an emergency kit, 17% say learn survival skills, and 8% say stockpile long-term supplies. Okay, so we're doing that. We're doing that. Make sure I'm about to be pulled away. I don't know if we will, but we'll see what happens. All right. So the next thing is going to be stay informed, and this is number 6. Knowledge of threats and best practices em- uh, empowers informed decisions during emergencies. Let me say that to you again. Knowledge of threats and best practices empowers informed decisions during emergencies. So basically, pay attention and have a plan. That's what all those fancy words that's all the fancy words just came out of my mouth. Okay. News alerts. Sign up for local emergency notifications to stay updated on risks like floods or wildfires. Every municipality now has their own little alert system. If you live someplace, you should be signed up for it. Call down to your city, your city office and say, "Hey, is there an alert system I need to know about?" Look it up on the YouTubes or on the old interwebs. I guarantee you can find it. They have them on the county level and they have them on the state level. So you can sign up for these things. Also, weather apps like NOAA, Weather Radar, or AccuWeather, they're going to provide you some real-time updates on conditions that could impact your safety. Please remember, whenever you talk about using radar, that those radar watching the timelines are normally 5 minutes ago. So just an FYI, good knowledge to have for timing the tool timing. And then obviously online communities like this one, you can join different forums, to share knowledge and learn from experienced preppers. And these platforms are going to offer practical tips and support. It's really just that easy. And somehow we've got to the halfway point, and you know what happens. If you love your country, put a one in the chat. Not your government, your country. America. I'm going to drink some of this Wendy's coffee. I'm going to talk some smack. I'm going to read you some stuff, and we're going to pay some bills. And it's that one. All right, guys. I've got a little something going on with Refuge Medical right now. And let's see, where is it at? Where is it at? I just got inundated with crazy ass emails here. So basically, guys, if you don't know about Refuge Medical, it's the greatest medical company on the planet that I'm aware of. Everything about them is American. When I say everything, I mean everything. The people, the equipment, the designs, the logistics, everything about it is American. They won't even buy a product if the product is not sourced in America. It's that easy. It's 100% that easy. As usual, they do have some deals going on for you. I wanted to tell you guys about. It's called Freedom Fireworks and First Aid. You know, Independence Day, it's a time of celebration, but it's also one of the most common days for injuries from burns, fireworks, and flying debris. Now, and so what they've done is they've built a bundle. This bundle is it's bleeding prevention kit with a free eye injury set. That's a $30 value, by the way. That free eye injury set. Let me scroll down here. Compact, glove box ready, easy to use with clear instructions, built for real world industry. And if you purchase one of their blood prevention kits, is it a BPK blood? Yeah, blood prevention kit. You're going to get the free eye or the eye kit. Okay, it's a little over $100. But basically, you're getting $100. You're getting basically getting like $140 worth of gear. Not a joke. Not a joke. If you are interested, there's a link in the description. Just scroll on down there to Refuge Medical. I tried to use my code. It does not seem to apply because you're already getting a deal. But if you buy more stuff on top of that, then it will allow you to use the code. So be adults, use your money. You adults, spend your money appropriately. It's your money. You made it. You spend it yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead and I think we're done with that. I think we're done with that. Okay, let's see. It looks like, wow, the chat's populating properly today. That is absolutely freaking amazing. There we go. Go. The wound care buckets are amazing at 100%. I have two of those myself. I have the wound care and I have the surgical bucket. It's pretty freaking awesome gear. All right, guys. So with that said, we're going to go into, we've hit our six things. And now we're going to move into like two different, I wanted to do a section on urban survival and wilderness survival. So with urban survival, urban survival focuses on navigate. You know what? I want to check the poll first. Let me check the full poll first before we do anything. We got 13 votes. The question is, what's the first step in prepping? 46% say personalize, prioritize personal health. 31% say build an emergency kit, 15% say learn survival skills, and 8% say stockpile long-term supplies. All right, so with urban survival, now urban survival focuses on navigating challenges in cities during crisis, like civil unrest. I mean, it's funny too because it's like when you go into Podunk, Louisiana, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? No one ever talks about civil unrest. You know what I'm saying? You got to get to a heavily populated area before anybody's like crazy about civil. Billy Bob is not drive. Billy Bob and Daisy Duke are not driving through Main Street of all seven buildings or businesses, throwing Molotov cocktails and screaming "Yeehaw!" That's not what's happening out in the rural areas. You know what I'm saying? So civil unrest is almost exclusively focused on the urban model. Now, urban survival is going to focus on navigating challenges in cities during crisis like civil unrest or infrastructure failures. Now, individuals got to prioritize. You must prioritize mobility. Okay, as crowded areas can complicate evacuation. Maybe a light go bag with essentials like water, food, and a first aid kit is crucial. And resource scarcity is a concern as urban supply chains can fail quickly. So, stockpiling food and water is very, very, very essential. Now, security requires situational awareness, knowing surroundings, and avoiding risky areas. And we're going to pair this with legally compliant self defense training. If we're going to, building a community tie with neighbors is going to foster mutual support, such as sharing resources or coordinating evacuations. So, know your neighbor, be friends with your neighbor, talk to your neighbor. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and check the chat here real quick. I got a few things coming in here. Laszlo says one Pilgrim says build emergency kit and know how to use it. There you go. And we talk about an emergency kit. We're not talking. I used to call it my hurricane kit. It's like this. I had like this black locker box. I don't even know if you could still buy them like that, but um, and it was all it was just full of all the things that we would need in a hurricane if the power went out. It's that easy. It's fuel, got a stove in there, got dry goods, got some canned goods, locks for my generator. That way nobody could like come and take it from where it was. Just the craziest, stupid things that were all hurricane related. Having that little emergency kit, which was actually a locker box, was absolutely amazing because you can literally like it's kind of a it's almost like a break in case of break glass in case of emergency type of kit. You know what I'm saying? Life done free. What's up, my friend? What's up? Haven't seen you in a while. Haven't seen you in a while. West Virginia Pappy says gray man works to navigate urban areas. Yeah, yeah, that's part of the philosophy. But I think it's more important just to have something ready, specifically in the urban environments, so that you can, for lack of better words, escape and obviously have a plan and know where you're going with that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next section, which is wilderness survival. And with wilderness survival, this is wilderness survival demands self-reliance in remote environments. It's building a shelter using natural materials like branches or a tarp. It's going to protect you from the weather. Fire starting skills using tools like ferro rods. They're going to be vital for warmth and cooking. Especially in wet conditions. And then obviously water purification through boiling or filters, is going to ensure safe hydration, and then navigating with a compass, map, or natural landmark is gonna prevent disorientation. And then if you're good enough, if you're smart enough, if you got that education from your daddy or your mama or your sister or your brother or the local community college, foraging for edible plants or basic hunting slash trapping, where legal, is going to supplement your food supplies. But it also requires knowledge to avoid toxic plant or legal violations. Okay, let's see here. And then general emergency preparedness. Now, emergency preparedness, it integrates gear, kits, training, and plans for diverse scenarios. Essential gear include multi-tools, water filters, flashlights, a solar charger for versatility, and then comprehensive kits can be tailored to household needs, such as medications or infant supplies, and it's going to ensure your readiness. And obviously, regular training like first aid or evacuation drills is going to build confidence. Detailed plans are going to be able to be used to outline evacuation routes, communication methods, and resource management, reducing chaos during crisis. Now, we also need to talk a little bit about seasonal prepping. Now, with seasonal prepping, obviously cold weather, it's going to be, you're going to need insulated clothing, portable heaters, extra blankets. You know, uh, you're going to be able to fight those freezing temperatures. You got to be able to stockpile no cook foods like protein bars for outages. And learn to identify and treat hypothermia, such as gradual rewarming to prevent health risks. And then obviously with today's current weather, the hot weather, you obviously want to store extra water and electrolyte packets. I got to say that again, and electrolyte packets. If you don't have some, you probably should get some. You should probably use some, especially if you work outdoors. Especially if you work outdoors. And this is going to prevent the dehydration. Now, you should be wearing lightweight, breathable clothing. You should have that on hand, and obviously some sunscreen to keep away the keep away the skin cancer. I can't remember what the term of it, the official term is. If you don't put it it starts with an M. Put it in the chat. And then obviously the ability to recognize and treat heat stroke symptoms like confusion or rapid pulse, and cool the body with water or shade. Now, as usual, I like to throw a little bit of expanding knowledge, because continuous learning enhances preparedness. You know, um, like I was telling you before, like joining forums is definitely going to help you connect with individuals with experienced preppers or for practical advice. And obviously, reading books like the SAS Survival Handbook, it's going to provide in-depth survival techniques. Courses in first aid, CPR, or wilderness survival is going to offer you some hands-on training and regular practices of skills such as fire starting or navigation is going to ensure proficiency and confidence in high pressure situations. Now, some of the questions that a lot of people ask, it's like the thumbnail. Melanoma. Thank you very much, Ian, and all of you, Tucson, Eon, and Pilgrim. Melanoma. I like the way Pilgrim wrote it. Melanoma. So some frequently asked questions about basic preparedness because it's like the thumbnail is like is like if I remember it's like why do we prep or do we prep? You know what I'm saying? Question mark. And so one of the questions that often gets asked is prepping irrational? And the answer is no. I'm not just saying that because I'm a prepper, because it's just logical. The answer is no. It's just a practical response to uncertainty, focused on self-reliance. If you think about your governments from the bottom to the top, they have a plan for certain things. That's prepping. That's just preparedness. Another one question that I get a lot is how to start. I believe that you just be beginning with self-care, and a 72-hour kit and a basic plan. And then kind of, expand based on your needs. Like I tell you guys, water, food security, and then have a plan. It's that easy. Another question I get is how to stockpile. I always tell people to start with 3 days of supplies, aiming for 2 weeks to a month as your skills grow. You know what I'm saying? And then some. You know what? I think we're going to stop right there. I think we're going to stop right there, and I'm going to look at the chat because I've got some stuff written in there. Now, Cookfee says, if you're working outside and sweating a lot, if you drink just water, you will end up in the hospital. You need electrolytes. The roaming prepper found that out 2 or 3 years ago. I believe it. I believe it. Rose says canned meals like SpaghettiOs and others may be higher in sodium, but do have low sodium options are already cooked, can be eaten from the can without heating if there is an issue. Yes, I love that. And a lot of people don't really think about this, but like canned soups, not a problem. If you have a problem with sodium, just get the low sodium version. You can eat a canned soup cold, okay? MREs are meant to be eaten right out of the pouch without even being heated, okay? So if it's in a can, it's been pasteurized. It's been cooked. It's been taken up to over 190 degrees for about 90 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And probably higher temperatures than that. And believe it or not, MREs are actually sterilized in their package. A lot of people don't know that. So almost anything that's in a can be eaten straight out of the can. Just an FYI. Let's see here. Let's see. Cuckfee says prepping is like insurance you have. Just exactly. And that's all it is. That's all it is. Follow that 6 can method that I throw at you guys all the time, and you won't have any problems. All right, so let's go ahead and do some final thoughts here, and then I'll go to the chat. So if there's anything you guys want to talk about, or if there's any questions or things that you want to say, put them in the chat now because we are rapidly moving to the end of this live stream. With that said, some final thoughts. Prepping empowers individuals to face uncertainty with confidence, not fear. Starting with self-care, a basic kit, and a clear plan and essential skills builds resilience. Tailoring preparedness to unique needs and continuously expanding knowledge ensures long-term readiness. And prepping is a journey of empowerment, equipping individuals to protect themselves and their loved ones. It's really, really that easy. It's really that easy. Let's see. West Virginia Pappy says, my Walmart having sale on Chef Boyardee. Oh, you better sweep in there and buy yourself a flat, my friend. When you got deals like that, get in there, man. A flat. What's a flat? What's a flat? One, two, three, four. It's 12 cans. It's normally like 12 cans is a flat. You can't $12 for all that food. Yeah. You don't even need to like Chef Boyardee. Just go get it. All right, guys, we are on a few minutes of free time here, so whatever you want to talk about, put it in the chat, and we'll go jabbing at it. While you're thinking about what to put in the chat, um, I will let you know if things work out today. I will do a live on TikTok sometime, probably in the afternoon. and then I will attempt a live. Already did. You already go get another one, man. I will attempt a live on the Red, White, and Real channel. If you're not familiar with it, let me get you guys a link to it. Um, YouTube Red, White, and Real. Let me see if I can find it faster through the Google engines. Red, white, and real, right there. Number two. Yeah, that's hilarious. If you type in YouTube, red, white, and real, I'm the number two. I'm number two. All right, let's see here. Get you guys a link for that, and we'll drop that in. Boom. Oh, you got three. Oh, you're just saying that now because if you're like, I already did that too. And I'm like, no, get another one. But that's hopefully I'm gonna try and do a live stream on red, white, and real later on this evening. I don't know what time. I'm in the mood to do a lot of live streams today. We will see what happens. Ian says, found water flavor additives at Dollar General for $1 a box. I picked up several. Yeah, exactly. There's some of those. There's some water additives or water. I know you're using the term additive, as in like I'm added it to water, but enhancers, water enhancers. Um, that you can buy that don't have to be designed to like rehydrate. You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't have to be $10 a box. You can buy them that are like $1 a box, and as long as it's replacing electrolytes and salts, you're golden. You're absolutely golden, man. If you got them for $1 or $1.25 for a box, hell to the yeah on that. Pilgrim's like number two, the shit emoji. It's the shit emoji. All right. So now you know my schedule. I don't know exactly what time I'm going to do that. After I finish with this live stream, I'm probably going to help out with we've got the physical therapist analyzer or whatever she's called coming over to see whether the girlfriend needs physical therapy here or at the hospital. Hopefully it's here, you know. When is Julie coming home? Julie is home. She's in the living room right now talking on the phone with somebody. And like I was saying, we've got a physical therapy person coming to uh, take a look at her and see what can be done because she's got kind of like have to like learn to walk properly again. But she's getting stronger every day. So learning to walk, learning, basically, if you guys don't know what hospital head is or hospital brain, it's where basically when you've been in the hospital too long, your body starts to condition itself to the hospital. You don't think about anything. You're in like, and you actually kind of forget to walk and everything, or forget how to walk properly. So we're in the process of fixing all that. We got the medication roundup all locked in, all except for one medication, which we have a line in check on right now. And everything's going as well as can be expected. And I want to thank you for asking about her, Cuck. Appreciate you. Okay, that's going to be about it, guys. We almost made it to the full hour, but we're just out of content and you've stopped posting stuff, and that's a-okay with me. But like I said, I will be back on different channels. Thanks, Cuck. Appreciate you. Back on different channels today. So I'm sure she will, Freedom Nugget. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. We're gonna go ahead and sign off as usual, guys. Hopefully you guys, guys, if you have not voted in the poll yet, now's the time to do that. Looks like we've got 16 votes with you can't see that. Oh yeah, 16 people. So we're 100%. If you haven't voted yet, then do it. And we're gonna go ahead and shut this puppy down for the weekend. Stay safe. Have a great weekend, and I shall see you when I see you. Bye. That one.